welcome back. So today we want to focus on improving the improving cache. So what we're going to do today is decrease cache for things that matter, basically price. So we have all of this cache for 48 hours, which I'm going to see how I do this such a way so that we only do this once. And yeah, so that's the idea. So let's try to work on that. Because yesterday we tried to run the 5 sub accounts. It was a disaster. I mean, I don't have. Yes, apparently I have some stuff in here, but this should be like 34 for each one of them, and yes, you see a lot of losses here, and it's because it doesn't work as expected. So that's why I want to be decreasing the cache so that we know that we're working with the latest values. But before doing that, I want to be doing, skip the very first trade. So that's something that I want to do only in, when there's nothing else to do. So when it's the first time you trade anything. So the idea is on main.pi we need something that we can use as a variable. I don't know, maybe any of these variables here. So something like very first trade. It's going to be true by default, and that this is what we are going to be using in order to decide if we have to trade or not. So let's go into market whatever. So we start new cycle, so this is resume and so on, or we can resume, I guess, but I mean we can resume. Then we've got this cache and so on, but then when we get into here, which is place all positions and so on, load positions, state positions and so on, there's this not resume and so on, you classify stuff and so on. So the idea is that in here you've got the contracts map, max expected loss and so on, and so in here you have done everything that you had to do. So known symbols DB, you have asked for the low volatility symbols, you have asked for the base symbols, and you've got some long symbols, short symbols that you want to trade. Okay, so maybe here you return, but what happens what happens here before going, okay, contract sizes and mean price increments. So when you are about to trade the first ones, that you don't have this thing, but you have contract size and mean price increments. This is 48 hours. So before doing these compute contracts, what you are going to do is to check if it's the very first trade. So if this is the very first trade, you want to continue. Is it right? You want to return, so that, yeah, you want to return none, 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 which is this thing here. So, and before doing that, you want to say that this is no longer the very first trade, and then you return known, none, known, so that you can go on. And you can say something like very first trade. So you can say something like, this is the very first trade okay, so the very first trade was skipped so that cache is in place. Okay, so when you're about to trade, which is when, you know, this is not returning none, 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 and you have done the contract sizes and price increments. If this is true, you set it to false and you return none, 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 so that you can later on tackle this thing. So start new cycle, and if symbols known, so no active symbols, waiting 2 minutes. So that's what we are going to do. First place. So yeah, apparently I haven't saved the latest changes. Let me see right now. So this is going to be make sure to cache so skip the first trade and cache instead. That's what we are going to do, so that way it's much better. And now we can focus on different cache stuff. So as you can see here, we are checking stuff every 2 minutes. Where the hell have I seen this thing? Yeah, okay, so you can see how no active symbols, you check 2 minutes every time. So that means that when we are checking information, it needs to be done in such a way that you know, it needs to be in such a way that that you have less than 5 minutes. So that's what I would like to be fixing in all of this. So this is, I think it's done in BTSE. So we have a cache somewhere, cache TTL of 500. So look at that. So it's a cache of 1 minute in here, but I know that there is a cache diamond around here, which is 300. So apparently when you ask for the same stuff on the API calls, there's a cache of 300 TTL. We're going to change this thing into 60, which is 60 seconds, okay? Hopefully this is going to improve a bit what we want, what we actually want to do. So it's daemon cache.pi reduce cache to 60 seconds. Okay. So that's basically it. So we only have 1 minute of delay in order to do all of this. And so now we should be trading with the latest branch, so let's try with only one of them. See, with only one buffer and see what's going on in here. Local variable very first rate reference before assignment. What? Don't we have an assignment of main.py? Okay, main.py is in here. Isn't this an assignment? Have I done something wrong? What the hell? Oh, it's a local variable. I wasn't aware of this, so I'm wondering if all of this so mean price cash. Why is this considered a global variable and everything else it's not? Okay, so it's, let me check if it's the very same variable. Yeah, it's the same variable here. So basically what I need to do is to declare this as a global variable, and that's it, isn't it? So I just want to say something like global very first rate, isn't it? So if I'm not wrong, this is what we want to be actually doing. So this is number 2. Hopefully this is good enough for us, and later on we can what's the name, we can refactor this thing. So let's try again only one of them, see how this works. So look at that, the very first rate was skipped so that the cache is in place. Then you have to wait 2 minutes. So this one was not very good because we are resuming. So if we are resuming, we actually want to resume, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe if we resume, we should, let me see. So 341. Where the hell is that? So if it's the very first rate and we are not resuming, we do this thing. Otherwise, you just keep going on because you want to, because you already have something here. So I think we actually want to do this thing like that. So if not resume on the first rate, otherwise if you resume, yes, you want to calculate everything again, and you want just to resume whatever you had. So yeah, let's cancel this thing, and let's see how this goes. Hit add main, and so skip the first rate. Yeah, let's do yeah, I think we can amend this thing. Yeah, we can amend this thing because we are, you know, every time we do this, we reset everything to the previous commit, so we should be fine. Okay, so now I should be able to just go with the stored symbol, which says okay, you know, and now there's not a resume. I'm not sure what's going to happen right now. So If it's not resume and it's the very first trade, so it should say that this is the very first trade, even if we resume, if I'm not mistaken. And that way we escape. So as you can see here, we are starting a new cycle in 9:22. So this is doing a lot of stuff, like asking the mean price. So it's filtering the base symbols, the low volatility symbols. It's calculating the mean price increments, and the contract sizes is also calculating the contract sizes. So this takes some time, and so we don't want to trade 5 minutes afterwards that ends. That's why we are just waiting for it to end, and once it ends, it should say something like the very first trade was escaped so the cache is in place, and then we have another 2 minutes so that we can trade again. So hopefully this works as expected. So I think that this might take 5 or 7 minutes before it says anything. So we should see something. Okay, look at that. 9:24. So you have selected these things. Okay, so I guess that we are no longer. So we have 2 minutes. Okay, look at that. The very first trade was escaped, so that cache is in place. Look at that. So it took for us like 2 minutes. So it's 2 fucking minutes. So from 22 to 24, it took us 2 minutes to cache all the important information. Okay. So here right now, it's waiting for 2 minutes, but once it starts again to do some stuff, which I'm not sure how it's shown, like it should say something like start a new cycle, I guess. Once we once it starts a new cycle, look at that, it's showing everything. Once it starts a new cycle, it should not be 2 minutes, it should be less than that. And yeah, welcome to the stream. See, there are many people watching the stream. So now in 2 minutes, which is 9:26, we're going. Hopefully, we are going to see that the new cycle starts, and that it doesn't take 2 minutes like it happened here. So start a new cycle, 22, and then 24. Hopefully, it doesn't happen like that. Yeah. What's going on here? We are approaching something. Okay, so now we have all symbols close to start a new cycle, and that's 26:34, and we are doing this thing quite fast. So I wonder what's going on here. So yeah, so apparently we have had a lot of problems. So there's a long trade happened. Hopefully we can take a look at it. Here it is. This is the only one that has survived. apparently. Look at that. It's a very nice trade. How much do we have as take profit? Oh, 2%. That's nice. I didn't think I would have seen such a trade. So what happens here is that we're going upwards, and then we have some sort of retracement. So we have the stop loss here, and we're going to try to get this take profit there. So this is the only one that has worked. The other stuff has lost apparently. So GTO was a trend and was a short. So let's take a look at GTO for now. Hopefully we can understand what's going on in here. So GTO was a short trade. So let me change to 5 minutes. I don't know if I like this kind of. So basically what happens here is that we make a sell in here, market price. So it was like we did a market sell here, but then the price wait a minute. So we managed take profit market. Yeah, so this is a short trade. Take profit market should be downwards, but it's upwards, and that's not right. So maybe we should just go with limit and hope for the best with that, because otherwise we are getting this stupid so let's write it down. Where the hell are you? Maybe go with limit to avoid take profit exiting the trade. So how much was this? Yeah, this is moving a lot, if you ask me, in 5 minutes. So maybe we don't want you know, candles that are so big. This is like 1% in 5 minutes. Maybe it's too much for us, I don't know. Let's take a look at more stuff. F5 was a short trade. By the way, how does this go? We don't know. Not too well. We will see. So F5, EF5, perp. It seems like the same thing is happening here. So trade history, we sell, and the take profit should be down, but it's up, so we have an immediate loss. So the idea is that this is going down, but somehow it's not. It's like rebounding. So F5. Maybe we can ignore these trades altogether. I don't know. So we also have sand, which is a short symbol. So let me check sand. Sand perp. So what has happened here? So we have a sell. Oh, this one has worked. So we have an stock market. So this one I don't care. So we enter here, and in the very next candle, so we enter here at 11,040, which is around here, and then in the very next candle, the stop loss, which was here, was reached. I mean, actually, that's not very. It seems like a slow. Yeah, 0.20. I think I'm going to ask for a stop loss which is bigger than what we have right now. Yeah, so this is sand, isn't it? Sand, too small of a stop loss. I think I'm going to ask for 0.75% of the stop loss or whatever. The latest one is LPD, so let's go with that. LPD, live peer token. What the hell? So look at that. This one is an immediate thing. So take profit market is higher than whatever, and 0.70. So I guess that we have the same thing here. So yeah, but I mean it's higher. In any case, this is like what, 1%? Maybe it's 1%. Zero, 10%. That's not too much. Okay, so yeah. So now this is checking the trades to see how it goes, and yeah, let's see what happens with Avant. Is this going to go upwards? We don't actually know very much, if you ask me. But the thing that we have here is that the stop loss is more than 1%. So maybe that's something that we want to improve. The question is, do we have anywhere what's the minimum stop loss that we want to have? That's the question I would like to know. So this could be in here, calculate easy trend with RSI thing, which uses the real one, which is somewhere maybe on the top. Yeah, it should be on top, isn't it? Okay, so let me stop the instance. Minimum stop. Ideal stop, max stop, 001. Min stop. Okay, let me just feed the method to Gemini and see what happens in here. Oh my god. Here you are. So Gemini. So let's do a new conversation, because otherwise. So it's something like Python. We don't have Pro yet, whatever the reason is. So help me improve this method so that we have a hard-coded minimum stop loss of 1% of this thing percent. Maybe 1% should be enough. For both long and short positions with a hard-coded variable that sets this value. Now hopefully we need to ensure that the final key changes. Admin stop PCT 001. I mean, it's quite similar to what we had, isn't it? Oh my god. Safety, I use min for longs and max for short. This ensures that the Fibonacci level is already further. It uses the Fibonacci level. If the Fibonacci level is too tight, it forces stop loss to exactly 1%. Wait a minute. I cannot copy and paste this. Let's edit the request so that we don't have to. Improve this thing. Generate a drop in replacement. Hopefully this is good enough, and it's going to, yeah. So now we have another variable. So yeah, minimum stop loss amount 001 and so on. So if we have done this properly, we should have, you know, final scoring stop comp. Anyway, let's copy and paste and see what they have done in any case. So here it tries to do some stuff. By the way, the trade keeps going on. Hopefully this is good enough. So let me see. So we take the function that we have copied, and we're going to do a copy and paste and see what the hell this is supposed to have done to our function. Oh my god. this maybe we need to make this function smaller. I don't know. So now we should see what the hell have they done in here. Have they removed? Yeah. I see a lot of... What's the fucking name? I see a lot of hallucination here. It's doing more stuff than the one I've asked to. I mean, it's... Look at that. This is rewriting... Oh my god. Oh, let me see. Yeah, I mean, it's rewriting everything. I don't know if it's actually the same thing. Stop loss, relative position, softened. Yeah, this is the only one thing that I want to have. This is bullshit. Let's just undo our copy and paste. Okay, let's go back to the Gemini drawing board. Improve this thing. Generate a minimal. Generate a minimal drop-in replacement. Just return 0, 0 when the condition is not met. I mean, isn't that thing that we do when something... Just use reject. Just use reject when the condition is not met. So hopefully now this makes... Okay, so now we have yet again another variable name for this thing about minimum stop loss. Variables implement check using recheck for long run to short is way. Try ATR indicators. No, I want a 1% of it. Why is this so small? This is not my original script. This is not my original method, but I don't care. Hopefully I can understand what it does with this mandatory mean SL whatever, which should be somewhere. What the hell? Let me copy this thing so that I can understand it. Classify, is it trend real? So let's put it here on the top. Hopefully I'm doing this right, because so what I want to be checking is this thing here. So it's only checking the stop loss if you check this thing. Yeah. Well, that's what I actually want to be using, so hopefully I can do this without. So this should be in here, I guess. So we have the hard coded stuff. So yes, and trend.py. We want to open trend.py on the top. 616 and okay, nice. So this should be as easy as just checking the stuff here on the slope normalize stuff. So this is the bullish stuff. So this is it, isn't it? So long stop check. So this is the first thing we want to do. And if it's not right, then we just so current price minus 50 trace long, current price. If this is less than our 1%, I wonder if this is going to be wrong, if the current price of 50 trace long is not the right values here. Now if it's less, so if it's negative, it's going to, the same thing is going to happen, isn't it? And this is the short one. So let's copy the short one down here, just at the very beginning of this. So if this is less than the mandatory minimum stop loss, then whatever. I don't want to trade this if I have less than 1% stop loss. I just want some margin. So now we should be able to remove the new method that loses everything. So yeah, this probably is not working as expected because this is a fast model, not the pro one. But we will see. So hit diff, look at that. This is what I wanted to be doing here. I mean, we could have one for, we could have this as parameters or whatever. Sorry, but yeah. So ensure a minimum 1% stop loss. So let's, maybe we can cancel everything. I mean, this might work or not, but let's just cancel it. Let's cancel this thing here, and let's cancel the APA daemon. And now let's update all of our work trees in order to work with the new code that ensures a 1% stop loss. So for now we are going to test this thing. So look at that. So it has checked that it needs to trade a band. So a band, you know, it says that it's going to start a new cycle, and as we said before, this means that you know that it's going to cache everything. It's going to take like 2 minutes, and then it's going to decide not to trade because it has waited for 2 minutes, and yeah, it takes a lot in order to decide in order to find out which are the low volatility symbols and so on. So I'm wondering if I should just use like stop loss should be 380R or something like that instead of just 1%, but I think that 1% it's a nice value to have as a minimum. So yes, welcome to the stream. So we have 2 minutes to go. Okay, so now it starts a new cycle, it returns none, and it doesn't find any valid symbols. So this is something that we didn't have before. So we didn't have this stuff, so we always had some trade or not. So I'm going to run this on the other work trees and see if we get any trades. So hopefully this 1% minimum is not a very it's not a condition that it's you know, removing us from having a lot of trades. So as we are going to trade with all of this stuff, I'm going to log in each one of the exchange, what's the name? In each one of the sub accounts, so that we can do this thing properly. So you are going $149. So this should be sub account 2, which I'm going to change right it now. This should be sub account 3. So hopefully this is good enough. So let's change this thing to sub account 3. Confirm. So maybe what we are seeing is that we have, you know, that we have more trades. So the actual trades where we had those losses, we no longer have them because, you know, so this is going to be Gunfire 4. Confirm. And again, let's log in here. Hopefully we've got a new 2FA in order to use, and we change the account to sub account 5. So it's Gunfire 5. This is Gunfire 4. So as you can see, so run 1 is just saying that they don't have any new symbols, actually the first time this happens, we will have a weight stuff here. So look at that. It's doing the first one for all of these work trees has not started yet. So this checks and it starts a new cycle. So you can see how it takes like 18 seconds to check all of this. This is very nice. With 18 seconds you check all of the symbols that you think are good enough. And here, look at that. The very first trade was skipped. So send perp. So we might have a send perp trade in these other work trees, in these other sub accounts if we loop again. So if we have the same stuff, we might have a send trade. So let me see. If we go here, maybe the second sub account, which is here, and we check send, maybe this is what we are going to be getting right now. So in 5 minutes, why doesn't, okay. So I guess this is a short trade and it should detect that there's some kind of retracement and then you go down, but I don't know. So let's see what happens in 2 minutes. So we need to wait for this to be 53 or whatever. But it's quite interesting that the send thing has been proposed. Maybe it has a lot of movement and 1% is not such a thing, or maybe, yeah, I don't know why this was proposed in the first place. So for now the Gunfire one doesn't say anything, and this one should be working in any moment. Okay, so now it has detected send. So this should, wait a minute. Yeah, so we are getting again this stupid 400 thing that where the stop loss is not good enough, isn't it? So if you go to the trade history, we can see how the take profit market is higher than the current price. That's not good enough. We don't want that. So let's cancel everything. Let's focus on that, because this is going to be happening the same thing again and again. I mean, not in this one, apparently not in this one, but in the same ones it has happened, and we want to fix this. I'm very upset with this thing where I'm getting this stuff and doesn't work. So maybe we should check for the take profit. So current price, do we get the current price properly in here? So the current price is calculated as the average price from the DF from 5 minutes candle, instead of getting the current price from somewhere else. Maybe this is an error that we have here, because if we had the current price properly, we should have the advice data for take profit better, isn't it? Because I think that we return a take profit advice in here, but all of this is based on that the current price is properly calculated, and that's not what's happening here. So we are using this thing from the latest 5 minutes candle. This is not right, because this is cash for about 5 minutes, and we actually want to have something better than this current price. And I think we are using somewhere else, something else for the current price. Change dot current get current price. Look at that. Exchange dot get current price symbol. That's what we are supposed to be using. So either you do like this, retry anti-valid, or you do this thing. So trading symbols. So let's go on to trading symbols. So trading symbols. So look at that. Exchange, retry, anti-valid, change current value. So if price is known, then we skip this thing. That's what we have to do in here. Yeah, so let's try to copy this thing. Hopefully using exchange directly, it's a thing that we can do in here. Yes, I think so. So let me find out where trend 10 it is. It's in here. So you can see how here we've got the current price thing. The ATR is whatever, but yeah, so the current price should be this thing here. Current price. And so basically we want to recheck this, isn't it? I'm not finding the reject thing here. So return reject. Where the hell is this? So current price. Return retries. Not current price. Could be detected. Hopefully I don't need to add the second stuff. Hopefully I can just do this thing. So extra known. Okay. Yeah, I guess that I'm fine. So the current price is this one here. So this is going to be current price directly. So like this. And then you no longer need to have the average price. Wait a minute. So current price. So current price is used down here everywhere. And what about average price? So the average price is not going to be the same one as the current price now that they see this thing. So basically what I want to be doing here is just using the current price for any of this, and current price, ATR, fail, whatever, current price. I don't have to define this because it's defined upwards, up there, I mean. So ATR is okay, but average price and current price, you know, current price is not okay. So current price. Yeah, look at that. So let's try 5 times to get the current price. Hopefully this is good enough for avoiding some of the current problems that we have. Make sure to use the current price. So this is like easy 10, or is it trend 10? Trend 10. Let's use trend 10. Trend 10. Make sure to use the current price. Nice. So now we can reset this thing. Have I done this thing right? Let's run the API daemon. And let's try to run everything and see how it goes. I'm not sure what happens with all of the trades that we had opened in all of this stuff. So 2, 3, 4, and 5 sub-accounts. Let's try to check. Okay, this should be 5 minutes. So let's take a look. So now we should be able to have to be using the current price. Let's see if it's 18 seconds or if it's less seconds, because now we are getting the current price. Hopefully it's the right current price and not something else. I mean, so in BTSE we should have get current price, get market summary, fetch contract sizes, fetch min price, get current price. Yeah, so there's a there's an API for this. Let's see what happens. So as we already know, we should have this thing about this is the very first trade, we ignore it and then we do the rest of it. You know what I mean? So let's wait for this to do some stuff. So we had one trade here that was promising. This was a buy order. Okay, we thought that this was going up, but it went down, so we wouldn't have won anything in here in the first place, but you know, we have tried. And what about this thing here? Yeah. So if you have any questions about Python, about the BTSE, BTSE change, or if you have any question in general, you can ask in the chat. Questions about Python or trading in general are welcome. Let's write this in the chat. Hopefully there's more interaction, because yeah, we get some views, some visits, but then nobody interacts, and yeah. So hopefully in 2 minutes time or whatever, we can have a message regarding Python 3 main.py, doing some checks. Then the very first one should say that it's the very first trade and we don't want to do anything with it. And then you do the rest of it, you know what I mean? And as I say in the chat, if you have questions about Python or trading, we can answer them. So right now I have the 5 sub-accounts working in parallel, trying to find trades that match Fibonacci retracement in a trend. So that's more or less what we want to be doing, and we want to check. We want to avoid having losses because of a tight stop loss and so on. That's why we have changed the current price. So the current price will be fetched at the moment. It won't be, it won't be fetched later on. Now that I think about it, I'm probably cashing it. So I don't know. I mean, get current price. How do I know if I'm not cashing this thing? Because so we have the throttle request so that they don't tell us that we are getting the current price too often. But my question is, are we reaching the TTL cache from Demon? How much your strategy completed? I don't know. I don't know, Freedom Boy. I'm trying to make this work in such a way that I don't lose money when I try to set up the take profit. Are we reaching TTL cache from AP? Where the hell is this? From Damon. I mean, we have only 76 Demon Cache PI. So, are we reaching TTL cache when doing a where are you? Yeah, this is the current doubt that I have. So are we reaching the TTL cache from Demon Cache when we do this thing? I'm not very sure. Maybe we are. So in any case, look at that. This has not found any valid symbols. We will see how long it takes to loop. and yeah, it seems to happen the same thing. So Freedom Boy, what I have done is added a 1% stop loss because I'm a bit concerned about the stop loss stuff. So as you can see in here, more trades 8. I ensure a minimum of 1% because I wasn't doing that because of trying to get more and more trades. And now I'm enforcing a 1% stop loss. I want to have some movement. So what's happening right now is that not active symbols are being found, and then once they are found, they are going to be skipped because we will be having, you know, it will be the very first trade. So you want to be skipping the very first trade so that everything is cashed. So that's what it is. What's happening here? So we need to wait a bit. But in the meanwhile, I can try to check if I'm reaching the cash TTL of 60 seconds. I mean, 60 seconds for the current price might be too big. So in theory, when we do a change get current price, well, exchange retry. So this is exchange.retry and invalid. This is imported as from exchange import BTSE. So this should be BTSE file, which is the one that it's working in here. And apparently so this one has a cache. Okay, so and this one here does not have a cache. The thing is that everything in here does a throttle request, which I guess a throttle request is just pinging the URL thing. Which is based on the base URL, which I guess is just the trade thing. So let's see if there's any change. So for now, there's no change. I prefer not to have trades that having trades that they lose. So for now, there are no trades. And we will see later on what happens. But my question is that somehow when I do the throttle request thing, this should be querying my config base URL. Yeah, this is the base URL. Yeah, so this is done with logword, and apparently when we do the we get the OHLC. Wait a minute. If we do the OLCC, we cache it, and otherwise. So I have a system that cache everything. So this is the cache client. So it's API cache fetch. Oh, wait a moment. Maybe I'm not using this often enough. Wait a minute. So from the main program, I'm using apicache fetch to get the fetch contract sizes and get the fetch min price increments. And then from exchange BTSE, I'm just doing the apicache fetch for the 5 minutes and 1 minute time frame. So I'm not actually catching the. I'm not actually catching. So if I open BTSE down here, I'm not catching anything for the current price. So if you take a look at fetch 5 thing, I'm doing this apicache fetch, which is calling this function, but inside of the API daemon, so that we can have enough data if we can have cache data if needed, which is what happens in here with this daemon cache. We have 60 seconds delay in the 5 minutes candles and in the 1 minute candle, okay? Which I need to check what the hell do we use the 1 minute candle for, but I think it's not useful for this. In any case, here we are using APE cache fetch, but we are not using it when we do the get current price. So we should be fine with this. We should be fine by getting the latest price. You know what I mean? So we might be wrong with our calculations, but the current price is going to be okay. And that's what we're going to be using in order to get the trades or not. So for now it's 1%. So we will see if we want to change that to 0.50% or whatever. So let's write this down. Let's no. And then the question should be like, let's wait for 50 minutes. So this is like 26 plus. So we are going to wait till 31:41 to see any trades, otherwise minimum stop loss will be changed onto 70% thing instead of 1%, because we had a lot of trades. Now we do not have any more trades, and we want to be sure that we have trades. I mean, yeah, we don't mind losing some trades in exchange for testing the script. But for now, I think this is the right thing to do. So right now we have all of this, which is not too much. I mean, yeah, more or less they have the same value, although the idea is to have 34 in each one of them so that we can count better what's happening here. But for now we don't have any trades, so let's focus and wait and see what happens in 15 minutes. So 31, I have written here 41, so this is like some minutes, isn't it? So 30 minutes right now. So yeah, so we're just waiting for this hour to see what happens. So I have an alarm set up so that it wakes me, and in the meantime we can answer some questions if you want to. I mean, I can check the BTC price. I can just put this stupid thing like this, or maybe like this from here. I don't know. You know what I mean? This is bullshit. I don't care what the price does. I just want to try my script, and hopefully we can get some trades in less than 15 minutes. Otherwise, I'm just going to. And yeah, so maybe we can take a look at the AI debug stuff, that it's writing some stuff in here. So here we can see how well, this is UTC, isn't it? So this is like 1 minute ago. So all of these symbols are stagnant. So, and then the filter symbols is null, which means that we haven't found good enough, and these are the low volatility symbols. So yeah, no long symbols and no short symbols when we filter this thing. So these are the low volatility symbols. So ETH, Doge, 1KP, PEP. So if we have a trade, it should be one of those. For the first one. So symbol filter symbols. So symbol filter, these are the filter symbols. Wait a minute. Okay, so filter symbols. I'm not sure I'm doing this properly. If symbols is none, filtered symbols. This is not right. We are missing something in here. Probably because we have we now have the low volatility symbols into here, and probably in here we have the filter symbol somewhere. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe here, filter symbols. So these filter symbols, filter by symbols by age, volume, these are lost. So in here we return the base symbols. We are losing the filter symbols. That's why we are not getting them in the AI debug symbol. So yeah. Get base symbols. Do we want to just return them? I mean, I don't care about them. Filtered and then base symbols. Which is... what's the difference between filter symbols and base symbols? Get ready symbols. Okay, so the get ready symbols are the ones that have more than 2 weeks, isn't it? So there's not much information to have in these filter symbols. I mean, actually we could just remove filter symbols from here, if you ask me. I mean, this made sense. This is only one thing that, I mean, this is only going to be, okay, let me copy this thing. This is only going to be done once every 48 hours, so it might be useful to log this thing. So let's do this thing here. So this is going to be filter symbols. So this is get base symbols, whatever, and the filter symbols are these ones here. Wait, have I done something wrong? Yeah, so filter symbols should be here. And then down here, filtered symbols, we should not be using them. Filter symbols. Okay, so filter symbols. Filter symbols none. Okay. Trend rejected symbol is stuck. So we can say something like, make sure to a debug log filtered symbols. I mean, this is actually something related to the log, but I don't know. Wait a second. Let's hit restore staged. This thing here. So this thing here should be this thing here. Oh my god, this thing here should be something regarding AI logs, so add JSON logs 10. Okay. And then we can just say that removed deprecated filtered symbols variable. Remove non-used variable here. Nice. So I'm going to just cancel everything, even this thing here, because I want to test again. Okay, so everything has ended. So I want to test new code. Maybe just let's change this thing into 0.75 because we are not getting any trade or what, or should we wait maybe another 15 minutes? Okay, let's start with APA daemon. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we can maybe check this thing. So now we should get the filtered symbols. So as you can see, filtered symbols, there are a lot of them. So I guess that later on we will have less of them because they are not ready or whatever. We will see how this goes. So let's see what happens if it finds more of this. So I guess that this is when we have, oh it's, yeah, so this is when it has, we have turned off the APA daemon, and this is right now that we have just checked the filtered symbols. And now when it wants, we will have another line regarding what of these what of these traits are good enough. But as we have started, we need to give some space for this to work. And yeah, so right now it's trying to detect if, yeah, what the hell is supposed to be doing right now? That's a very good question, because we know that we have done this get filtered symbol, so it's updated the symbol register in the database, which take some IO. Then it's set up symbol modes for new symbols, and then it gets the ready symbols, which is the ones that have more than 2 weeks, and it returns them. So these base symbols should be used later on. So in here should be using, so in order to clear the position and get low volatility symbols, which is, this is also cached, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe we are doing this thing here. get the low volatility symbols thing. And apparently once you do that, you can check the filtered symbols. I mean, these symbols are both the long symbols and short symbols, isn't it? Okay, look at that. Now is checking some of the trades, and we are rejecting this because majority rule failed. So what the hell is this? I don't know. Let's take a look. Majority rule failed. So this is probably in trend. So we want, the first thing we want is that the last candle is greater than the first candle when there's a positive count, which means we've got positive slopes. You want the last candle to be greater than the first candle. So if you go to BTC, if we go to BTC in here, I don't care. BTC 5 minutes, and you go 30 whatever to the left, we might see that the last candle is, that we are not seeing majority of candles going down. That's why we don't see a trend. You know what I mean? So right now, wait a moment, low volatility symbols. So we have low volatility symbols anyway. But yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that after all of this, so we have some low volatility symbols, nice, but we haven't chosen any long or short symbols. That's why we don't trade. So hype, for instance, hype has been rejected because it's stagnant. So let's take a look at hype so that you can see that it's not. So if we go to 1 minute, this is stagnant. So this is going to be cached for 48 hours, which means that each time we go to check hype, it's going to return 0.0 each time you do the trend 10 thing. So it's going to just discard hype in order to trade, because we don't want to trade such lame symbols. You know what I mean? So this is checking again if something has changed from the last time we have checked everything. So basically, depending on the cache and the time it has elapsed, we are just checking the newest current price against all of this to see if it's worth trading. The problem is that the first time we found anything to trade, it's going to say, okay, let's cache everything. And I mean, we're actually, let me see, maybe we can improve this thing. So we have this thing. So if we don't resume and it's the very first trade, then you return and you have done this contract sizes and mean price increments. But if you have not found, so this is contract sizes and mean price increments in symbols. So symbols are wait a moment. So this cache stuff is not being done in every loop. It's only done when there's new symbols, which means that when we need it, we are going to check all of these contract sizes and mean price increments for the symbols. So there are going to be like few symbols that are cached, and then the next time that it's cached, it's going to be faster. So this is only useful if we are getting the same symbols again and again in the next trade, which is what happened to us when we had no restriction on the stop loss. So I don't know how to make anything of this. So I guess that when there are no trades to be done, we want to update the contract sizes. And yeah, so we want to update them only once. This is not right. So I like the idea that the very first trade I don't trade and I skip it, so that this can be cached properly and we don't waste so much time. But given that most of the times we are not trading, we should be caching this thing in the first place. Anyways, so maybe we should do this the other way around. So try to cache every symbol if this is the very first trade, but then maybe we should just update everything in here. Yeah. So if we resume, we do this, otherwise we do that. But why would you want to update the contract sizes for all of the symbols just in case, so that you have them cached in here for always? Damn it. Do we have any trade around here? No, we don't. So we actually want, so symbols is from active symbols, so that's the one that we are using in here. Update contract sizes and mean price increments. Okay, I don't know what to do with all of this, so let's update those every time. Let's just remove the very first trade skip, because although in any case it's not going to take too much. This only makes sense if the same symbols are going to be repeated again and again, but in such a case they should be the ones that the low volatility symbols, which are the ones that are cached, like, you know. So if we don't resume, we don't have those. So low volatility symbols. So it should be the active symbols and the low volatility ones. I see what I see here. That contract size is like and then you don't do this every time. So the idea, I think, is to get the low volatility symbols and the active symbols from here, like symbols to update or something like that, and then I use them in here in order to update these two values, and we do this always. So if I resume or if I don't resume, I can do this. Filter symbols by rank. The problem with all of this that this is getting empty, and we don't want that. So what I actually want to be happening here is like update contract sizes. So these are the symbols to update. And this is the update mean contract sizes, mean price increments. So basically what we are going to do here is that we want to be doing this thing with symbols down here and symbols down here. So the very first trade so this is going to be the very first cache, if you ask me. So symbols and symbols. Let's move this out of the way real quick so that we can have them here, maybe. So this was using symbols in order to update the contract sizes. We are going to do this in other way. So yeah, this is already defined. There's no need to define this as empty. We just want to have this thing greater and that's it. And so the same thing should happen in here. So, but the thing is, for simple and symbols, you do whatever. And so now, what I actually want to do is that if I'm in the resume case, I'm going to ask for the okay. So symbols. I'm going to ask for. I'm not sure what I'm doing in here. So I'm going to ask for this to be updated. So I want this to happen in the resume case, and I also want this to happen in this place here where we have the low volatility symbols. I want them to be cached in here with the low volatility symbols, because that way you already have them updated here. So this very first trade, it's going to be very first cache. So there's no need to have this thing here. So it's going to be around here. So the first time you do this, you just ignore this and you return none. That's what I'm going to do. So it's going to be the very first cache, not this one here, because we are already inside of the trade that it's going to be resumed. But other than that, so the idea is, instead of very first trade, it's going to be very first cache. So very first cache instead of trade, which is very first cache. Okay, look at that, very first cache. So very first cache, very first attempt to trade, which is the same thing as you know, very first cache. So we want to be using this not here, because this is done with, you know, the active stuff, so we don't want to mess with this. So if we resume and the first one is not so good, we don't care so much. But now I would like to just update this stuff, so contracts and whatever should be fine. So I just want to update this stuff as expected. So if not resume and very first cache, So the very first attempt to trade was skipped, so the cache is in place. Then you say very first cache false. Wait, we are not inside of resume, so we can just say if very first cache, then you do this thing. Yeah, so if very first cache, you say that this is the very first attempt, we set this to false, and then we return known known. Okay? Yeah, so are we doing anything? We are not doing anything. Oh my god, this third thing. Contract sizes and so on. I mean, this is something that we do. Cache force the contract sizes and mean price increments to be cached and once. Yeah, hopefully that's good enough of an explanation. So let's cancel everything. Let's see how it goes. So yeah, and this is like again all of the checks that this is doing in order to check everything. So but we will change the minimum stop loss to 0.75 because otherwise this is not working as expected. So, what's gonna be? I think I'm going to change the stop loss to 0.75% because otherwise, you know. In any case, we should be seeing this thing about, you know, caching and whatnot. Because we have said the very first attempt to trade was a skip, so a cache is in place. So this should happen once we try to resume and, you know, and it doesn't work as expected. Yeah. So let's wait for it and we will change to 0.75% because otherwise this is too much of, you know. Let's pretend that we know what's going to happen in the next days, even if it's not true. We are doomed. Till when? I don't know. Maybe in a year we are going to get a nice movement. Because this is like resistance that becomes a support. So that's what you might think is nice decision to do in the long term. So let's see how long it takes to run, because right now they are all asking the API daemon a lot of data. The API daemon is saying, oh my god, how many data are you asking me? I'm going to throttle you till I answer the other one. So maybe we can push the current more trades 8 so that you have something in here, and we can copy and paste the URL in the chat so that somehow YouTube knows about it and brings more users to here. Oh, look at that. This is not normal. Read time out. No contract sizes could be determined for the ATO. Why is that? We shouldn't have. Oh, look at that. There's another one here. Timeout 30. So maybe we are not doing this as good as expected. Also, look at that. The very first attempt to trade was skipped, so that we have the cache. But I'm a bit confused because no contract sizes could be determined. Hopefully we can ignore those errors, and then the next time this tries to trade, it's going to work as expected. So let's see how it goes, because we cache everything, so it should be quite instant, the next loop that we have. So when it sleeps for 2 minutes, which is going to be 11, 12, 17, so let's wait the 2 minutes and let's see how it happens. Okay, now we should have how you run your Python code. I'm running it in locally for now, but the idea is to run it in a BPS. I'm running the Python code locally thanks to a viable session. The idea is to do the same thing in a BPS and finally convert it onto a systemd daemon. Okay, wait a moment, please. Okay, so we're back. So now we have had a trade, which I guess haven't worked so well, but we're going to check what happens in here. So we have a uni cycle and uni cycle. Both of them have not worked as expected. So this is run 1. So in here, so uni swap. Okay, so it's uni, not uni. Trade history. So as you can see, we have the take profit that doesn't make sense. So the take profit is less than the market price where we buy. So we haven't fixed this thing yet. So we have cashed and so on. We have managed to cash these contract prices and mean price increments, but then again, the take profit and stop loss do not make any sense. So I guess that we have to do limit trades, because otherwise I don't know how I'm supposed to be fixing this thing in any case. So yeah, so I guess I need to convert this thing into limit trades, because otherwise, I don't know, it's like when we try to do anything, it's not as good as expected. So it's a limit trade, but if you cannot do it, then we just ignore it, because otherwise, so you buy at this level and then you take profit at this other level. Yeah, let's try to convert this thing into a limit order. Okay, let's take a look. Let's take a look. Should we do all of these station locks in one place, or we just ignore this and just fork? Okay, let's fork this into limit orders 1. Okay, look at that, limit orders 1, because I'm very tired of this not working as expected. So we're going to check where the hell do we do the trades, and we're going to ask for the trades to be limit orders, and let's see what happens, because usually we don't get the right limit orders in the right place. So let's see what happens with all of this. So this is the trend 10 thing. And somewhere we have the advice data, which is the take profit, stop loss, trailing trigger price. So we want to have a current price advice, because otherwise we are not going to be able to do the limit thing, isn't it? So currently yeah, let's just attempt to have limit with the current price, and we will see how this goes. Yeah, so advice data, current price, it's going to be current price. So let's do it first for long, and then let's do it for short. So advice data, this is going to be current price, which is going to be the actual current price. And same thing we are going to do into here, current price. Nice. Trading trend, current. No, we don't want to be adding this thing yet. Let's do some more stuff in here. So yeah. So we want to be finding the how the hell do we do trades here, because I'm not very sure how we do that. So compute this and that and whatnot. So start new cycle, and inside of the start new cycle thing we trade place all positions. So place all positions thing, this is where we want to do limit orders, because otherwise this is going to be so trading orders. So here there's no advice, trading orders. Okay. And let's place all positions. This is the one that we are looking for. So play positions. Okay, so this and that, trend type, this is trend, this is range. Place range positions. Entry offset symbol, stop loss. Entry offset percentage. Take profit percentage. Okay, so in range you are working with percentages. That's interesting. Okay, so if this is trend, we get the trend score result, trend score value, base contracts, score multiplier, contracts. Then we do place trend positions. Okay, I guess. So let's take a look and search for place trends position. You need to use an ID for this thing. So place trend positions, it's in trading trend. So again with this, so place trend positions. So place trading stop, and then we do the wait a moment. So once we do place trend positions, fetch the previously saved scores. Okay, we do this thing and that. Trail and stops map symbols. Yeah, but we are not using that, isn't it? We just want a market order and that's it. And this is how we update the position. Okay, so I guess that we want to be checking trailing stop, which is found in trading orders. So we get one place or the other. So place trading stop. Okay, finally. So place trading stop, it's using the callback rate, which I guess we are not actually using because the trail value is not used in order to do any of this. We just return it, but we are just ignoring it. So right now we are doing a market order. Okay, and we are doing a market order in the current price, and then we get the custom stop loss from the trend stop losses thing. Okay, and yeah, so what we actually want to be doing is to have our custom entry thing in order to be able to enter a limit trade. That's what we are going to do. So in order to do so, we are going to create a new whatever, which is trend stop losses. So let's find that. By the way, is this doing anything else? Yes, it's doing more stuff, and we are losing again and again with uni or whatever is this, because it doesn't know how to do a proper value in here. So trend stop losses, let's search for this and let's cancel all of this now that we can avoid losing. Let's lose everything in here, let's end everything in here, and let's search for this. So 1 second please. Okay, let's see if we can do anything that makes sense. So we were checking. So the first thing we want to do is to save the current prices. Okay, current prices. Trend stop losses. So it's going to be current prices. State current price. I don't know. So let's do it. So first of all, we need to be modifying main.py. Let's start from there. First of all, so trend stop losses. So this is going to be trend current price. Okay, so just under, yeah, maybe the first one, trend current price. The other one should be in you know, in state.py. So let's open this thing on the top. Let's search for stop loss, whatever, take profit. So this should be trend current price none. Nice. Then we want to be going into trading or trading symbols, apparently. I don't know about that. Trading symbols, so it should be this one here. So in many places we have this thing about trend stop losses. So each time we do the filter symbols by rank, this is removed. So I guess that I mean, it's done here, isn't it? So wait a minute. Wait a minute. If take profit is not known, trend take profit symbols equals take profit, which we are getting from the advice. But what I see here is that this is not the take profit, it's not empty. So this is maybe something that we are missing in here. We should maybe make it sure that we are doing this thing properly in the first place. I mean, this is not something that you want to be doing for. So this is trend current price. Okay, so this is symbols.py. So in many places we also have trend stop losses, which is when you get all of these. So if stop loss is not known, so basically what we want to be doing here is to get the current price from here. So here, so stop loss should have the current price in here. It's going to get the current price advice from here, which later on we are going to set back into here as the current price. So if current price is not none, then that means that we want to be saving this thing into the current price, which is here. Look at that. So I think that's and then there's another one like dot pop. What the hell is this? Trend to stop losses pop. I'm not sure about this one. If price is known, yeah, so that's a very nice thing to do. So trend current price. Trend current price, pop symbol known. Okay, so nice. So we have modify main.py, state.py, symbols.py. I think that we have maybe there's one on the top. No, it's the one here. And then we are missing orders.py, which I'm not sure what the hell is this. So orders.py. Yeah, so we have the trailing stop thing that it's getting the stop loss in order to do the trade. So we actually need this to do the same thing. So basically, if this is not none, you do this. Otherwise, I'm not sure what you actually do. So basically, what you actually want to be doing is getting the current price from here. Not from here, but because rel value. Oh my god. And this is going to be interesting. So what I actually want to do in here is, in addition to get the current price, in order to make the all of these trailing stop whatever that we have here, which I'm not sure I'm going to be using in the long term, what I actually want to be using is, so I want to get using the current price, trend current price, which is what we have here. So state current price for this symbol, this is going to be limit entry price. Okay, and then we are going to use limit entry price with our limit order. Yeah, that's what we are going to be doing. So now we can do something like trading orders, trading symbols, and trading trend. And this is going to be like setting up limit entry price. So we set up the limit entry price based on the current price that we are seeing when we do our stuff. So transaction type limit, market, and so on. Update trailing stops for symbol. So basically what we want to be doing here is once we have the limit entry price, we want to put it here so that we have a limit order. But in order to do so, then you've got the take profit and stop loss stuff, which is this TPSL order. Okay, these are some of the backs stuff. Actually, market order, stop loss price, last price. Yeah, okay, anyway. So this market order is used in here. Market data, get position ID. Otherwise missing position ID. Yeah, I mean, let's give all of this method to Google, whatever, and see what it comes with. Because so new conversation, because it's not very good if you try to work in the same place. So Python, so generate a drop-in replacement of this method with minimal changes. The first market order should be converted onto a limit order, which uses limit entry price as the limit price, and which uses limit entry price as the limit price. Yeah, let's see what it does, because I'm not sure it's going to work as expected. Market order, whatever. Boom, 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 boom. Type change from market to limit, and then price change to this. Float. Is it a good idea to convert this into float? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so rename variable names as needed. In market order should probably be a limit order. Here's a so market order, now it's a limit order, and we have the limit entry price. So look at that, it's converted into limit entry price. So yeah, limit body, whatever, and here we have the TPL stuff. Let's see what the hell is doing all of this, because I don't believe any of this. So this is place, trading stop, isn't it? $64. Let's see what the hell has changed in here. So So we have market side, which has been renamed to entry side. So this is like limit side. So place in limit order, okay, at limit whatever. Entry side, okay. Do not make a stop loss bigger. This is limit order, okay. Request sign limit sick, so this is like this. I guess it's done properly. Oh my god. So there are some stuff that we want to be having, but some of them there's no need to have them. So limit entry price. So there's no need to change this thing. Okay, so entry side, I would prefer this to be called limit side, if you ask me, because yeah. But anyway, let's go with it. What else? So do not make this thing. Do not make that thing. Do not make the take profit. Oh my god. Let's you know, let's add manually whatever we want to be adding, and then we will remove everything and check what's going on with all of this. So we want to add this thing, this thing, this thing. We want to be adding most of it, but we don't want to remove this file. We don't want to remove this file. What the hell is this? Maybe yes. Yes, I guess. Yes. Wait for, okay, let's do it. Yes, but I don't want to be removing this thing in the first place. I don't want this, and I don't want this, so trailing waste price. So basically, let's restore. So now if you get the if, it's everything that I don't want to be applied. So let's restore this thing so that we ignore these changes, and now we can restore this thing back again. So here, this div cached should show us what we actually want to be doing in here. So basically we can so basically I'm going to remove that space there in limit data. Is it here? Okay, yeah. So I'm going to remove this thing here. So now we can add this thing here. We can say something like trade trends with limit orders. So this is going to be the first thing that we do here. So look at that. I do not want to be removing take profit price and wait a moment. Why is this commented out in the first place? So TPSL order does have a stop loss but not to take profit. Has this been way this way always? Why is that? Is it because we already have it here? Wait a second. Which line is it? 169. Okay, so we removed the take profit price because we put it down here. That makes sense. Okay, so now I want to be copy and paste what it's. Wait a second. Wait for this and that. Now I want to copy and paste what I had in Gemini to see if I'm missing something. So I copy this code again and I take a look and see what I'm missing with all of this. So hit diff. So we don't want to add this thing, we don't want to add this thing, we don't want to add this thing, we don't want to remove any of that. And what the hell happens here? So we have extra debug variables if exists. Updated debug name in here. So all of this should be okay, so what I actually want to do is to deal with this thing manually. So instead of market body on whatever, it needs to be limit. It's the only thing that makes sense in any of this. So this needs to be limit. So I guess that I can just undo this, copy and paste, which should give us this thing like this, and down here we should have this debug stuff. So in every place in here we should be replacing market into limit. So limit, 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 and whatnot. And again, if we have market in capital letters, and we should be fine, I guess. So limit response and so on. So my question is, maybe we don't have limit response, and it's yes, we have it. So I guess that we should be fine. The only thing that it's a bit confusing is trading orders. So we can amend the latest one, and that's it. So now this should be what we want to be doing, which is just contracts at limit enterprise. Type limit. So there's this thing about having or not having a limit position, but for now we are going to just ignore it, and we are going to see what happens. Wait a minute, this is a new branch, isn't it? Limit orders 1. Limit orders 1. Let's copy and paste so that it's easier to do in all of the buffers. So let's start the APA daemon and let's see what the hell does this thing. I mean, I'm not sure this is going to work as expected, but you know, it might work better than before. So the problem with all of this is that the current code is using a market approach. So when we send a limit order, whatever, so this is the payload, this is the response, and so on, we are checking if we have a position ID, which we are not going to have in a limit. So this is going to return with a missing position ID, and so we need to rethink the script so that it doesn't work with the assumption that this is a market order, and it needs to know that there is a limit order placed into this change, and this has to be able to be checked if the limit order is working or not. So I guess I will have to put more of my script into the LLM so that it knows how to do this. So let's write it down so that we can work with this. So now that we deal with limit orders when doing trends, we actually want to handle limit orders in a different way than market orders, given that market orders returned a position ID immediately, and that's not going to be the case anymore. And we also have not to forget, so this is a to-do, to avoid limit orders that would be filled at market price. So we need to specify the proper type of the order. I mean, actually, I don't know how this is going to work out with all of this. So for now, we have skipped false. For now, we have all of this. So now we have the space symbols, and this is trading some stuff. And hopefully this is good enough for us to trade. So yeah, so I guess that in a moment I will need to end the stream. Yeah, so hit the status. So we need to deal with this position. Okay, so baby, I can talk with yeah, so this is one piece of it, and this is the other one. Place trend position. So place all positions. Place train and stop. Okay, so let's have a new conversation. So this is place trading method. What else do we have related to this? Trend.pi. Place trend positions. Damn it. Where the hell do we have this thing? Oh, look at that. We can make this thing bigger if we want to. Okay, so score place trend positions. Place trend positions. So these are place and position methods. So we were working previously with market orders. Now we are working with limit orders. Now we are working with limit orders. The old code assumed that a market order returned a position ID, as you can see. Help me design a new architecture that assumes that a limit order might not fill instantly, so that we can deal with it later on and so on. Yeah, I'm not sure this is going to be good enough, given that you know, ChatGPT gives more. For me, it gives more you know, pro time, or GPT plus time, or whatever it's called. So let's see what this says. In the meantime, let's take a look. Look at that. So we have this thing about the very first attempt to trade was skipped, so that you have chain place, and now we just wait for everything to go on, and let's see how this goes. So let's read what Gemini says. So moving from market orders to limit orders requires a shift from a synchronous mindset order to position to an asynchronous mindset order pending position. In your current code, place trading stop fails because it tries to find a position ID and bin take profit stop loss immediately. If I'm doing a limit order with take profit and stop loss, I don't need that. With limit orders, the position ID often doesn't exist until the order is filled. Here's a proposed architecture to handle this. Instead of one function, we split the logic into the two distinct phases. Okay, so in any case, let's read what this thing says. So instead of one function, we split the logic into two distinct phases: deployment and reconciliation. So there's a phase for replacement, which is the fire phase. Place limit order, store the order ID in a pending order stable state. So we need to save into the database this pending order stable state. And do not look for a position ID or try to be in a take profit stop loss. Yes. Then there's a loop of reconciliation, which checks the status of pending orders. If an order is filled, get the position ID, place the take profit and trade orders, if it makes sense, because I'm not sure I want to do the trade and stop anymore. And then move the record from pending orders to active positions. So it already proposed place trading stop. So this function now only focuses on getting the order onto this changes book. So limit order, limit response, get order ID, which is the opening order ID, and then we return it here later on, I guess. Okay, so place trading position. So This populates a pending state instead of an active position. So pending orders. Oh, look at that. Save to a pending orders table in database. And then we need a reconcile orders. You need a function that runs every few seconds to finish the job, which is reconcile orders. I mean, do I want to do this thing about placing take profit and stop loss? I mean, if we can do it from the limit entry, then it's okay. So let me check how this goes. So my question is, so we have the limit order here, isn't it? And we define stop loss and the take profit. We don't actually need to update it later on, if you ask me. So basically all of this, it's not needed. So I don't need to do this thing regarding this take profit, even if it would be nice if you want to do trailing, because we also would need to track this bin take profit stop loss. I mean, no, because this would be filled. I mean, this would be created instantly, isn't it? But do I want all of this extra complexity just in order to update the take profit to stop loss so that it goes up or whatever? I mean, yes, that's something that you want to be doing, but at the same time, I'm not sure I want any of this. So opening order ID, closing order ID, opening price, trail value, score, closing order ID. Yeah, so I guess that I can just return this thing with closing order ID not being used, because there's no need to do the take profit thing. Do we? Thought. So this is a thought. Do we need a binding TPS? Do we actually need a binding take profit to stop loss? Or can we maybe we just want to deal with trailing stops later on, because for right now it's just trades, that's it. So right now, oh look at that, why is this failing? We don't know. So right now we have, yeah, this is probably failing because Okay, let me check real quick in here. So this is uni. This should have some orders that are not filled. Let's refresh this thing real quick. Let's ask for Gunfire 1. Okay, so we have uni, and this is failing. Oh, look at that. So this fails because the take profit should be higher than the limit price, which is very nice. We are avoiding to lose money. So the price is this thing here, and the stop loss is lower, but the take profit is not higher than the price. This is what happened when we did market entries, but this is no longer happening because we are doing limit entries. So it can say, okay, this is not a valid limit entry, we do not do anything. So that's what yeah, we have managed to do something. I mean, so the question is, what the hell is happening so that the take profit is not the right value? I mean, we already know, we already have an idea, which is that the take profit is being calculated not thanks to the current price, but something else. So the limit price thing, where the hell is this? So the limit price, so we are getting our take profit from here, from trend take profits. So this is the place where we are, and we are running inside this to have up. Yeah. But this is coming from trend take profits, which is being defined in somewhere. Trading symbols. So let me open this thing on the top line. So 117. So this is where we get the value for having the thing, and here on the bottom we want to be checking symbols.pi. So we want to check what the hell we are saving into here. So we are saving the take profit from the advice. Okay, and this advice is being done by calculate easy trend with 10 thing, which is going to be found here in trend. So yeah, so this is the real function where we have somewhere the actual advice with the take profit, which is what it's going wrong. So we have this advice data with minimum trailing length, and so on. And look at that. We have the current price and we have the take profit. And this is what it's wrong with all of this. So here there's the other one, which is short trades. Early, high, early, whatever. Wait a minute. This was a short or a long trade? This was a long trade. Okay, so this was a long trade. So what I want to be checking in trend.pi here on the top is how does it calculate the advice data for so take profit is here. So the question is, does this make sense or not? So are we missing something or not? So is this take profit properly done or not? So take profit is the early low plus 89% of this movement, which is early high minus early low, and this is the other way around, which I'm not sure it's right. In any case, I need to end the stream, so let me write this down. Also study this one here and this one here. So this is long, short, to see if it makes sense. Maybe the limit, maybe the trade should not be triggered if those values, the current price, does not make sense with the proposed take profit. My God. What the hell? Okay, so I guess that this is all for now, because we are getting errors like the one that we have here. So this is yeah. So this is keep talking to the LLM to see how we do this. And then we also want to be doing like we also want to be doing we want to be removing the take profit or not, I don't know. So study this thing. So what's the error? So apparently we are the trade wants to trade this wants to trade uni in long side. So you can see how you have something like this. So I guess that the idea is to trade in here because we got a nice green candle, although I'm not seeing it very well. Maybe the idea was to go up in here, and let's see what happens. Anyways, yeah, I think that that's all for today. So these are the things that we need uh, to do the next day, which is like doing trends and so on. Let me check the very last branch that we have around here, which is there's nothing about any branch here. So hit push origin limit orders one. So limit orders one. So this is going to be in the video description, and we are going to end the stream. Also starting to implement limit orders. So let's save the video. So thank you very much for watching. Bye.